What's up, everybody? It's J Tiggs Inspires, and I'm here for another message of love, light, and inspiration for you that I hope you can take with you and live a better life on a daily basis. Now, you all might have seen some of my previous videos, and in these videos, I came with you from a very religious but natural perspective, just because I was trying to really reach into the people to get you guys to understand these simple concepts of how the Spirit of God is always calling us home. But today, I don't really want to dive into the word like that. But what I'd rather do is just keep it 100 with you all. My brother and my sister looked at my testimony and they told me that I wasn't being like what my brother told me I was doing. But my brother told me that he wished that I would have pinpointed certain areas more where I had healing in. Hence the topic of depression, which is something that we're going to cover today, and how to overcome depression. My sister, my twin sister told me that she didn't see the authentic Joshua because my journey is so unique, and I kind of covered over it a little bit and gave you guys a shortened version of the testimony. So what I'm just going to do is just kind of lay out the platform for you guys based off of my life experiences. So today we want to talk about how you can actually take the steps to overcome depression and see the light that's on the inside of you. I'm so happy to be here with you all today. Sorry, I had my shades on. My bad. All right. Well, so throughout my journey, I struggled with depression immensely. From the time of my parents splitting all the way up until 2 or 3 years ago, even recently. But one thing that I've learned how to do is how to cope with the feelings. I learned where to look for them and how to look for the triggers and to avoid those different triggers. So today I just want to go over some simple things like, let's say, give you an example. When I was growing up, I fell into a deep state of depression right around the age of 15. Around this time, I was really questioning who Joshua was. I was struggling internally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. I was just a hot mess and I was confused, but I still had this picture of love that I desired within my head that I kept on striving to find throughout the years. But what I found throughout this journey when I was 15 years old and I was looking for love in all these places and confused, is that there was nothing to be found in those places where there's love, where there's confusion, where there's doubt, where there's worry. I learned that love can't be built. Hence, you cannot be in a state of freedom. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be oppressed. You're going to feel like you can't make it through. All right? But understanding that we are redeemed. During this time when I was 15 years old, I kept going to church, singing in praise teams, we were doing our thing. I was playing in athletics, and I was trying to find a way to get lost, throughout everything. And for me, it was church and track and field. Track and field was like my savior. I excelled immensely in track and field, was a state champion, state runner-up, multiple events, and I wound up getting a scholarship to go to college and run track. And that was my outlet out. That was the gift that God gave me to express my love for him. And I oftentimes did feel like I was expressing my love for God when I was running. But when I stopped running, this depression, this fear, this abandonment, all these things, these feelings that I had within me, they came right back up because I didn't actually take the time to deal with them. I just kind of covered them up, so from about 15 to 22, 23, to the time I got married when I was 23 years old. I just covered up all of my pain, all the depression, and I found that track and field and God were my outlet. And those things were very important because they're important for our human experience, especially the God aspect. But one thing that I missed out on in this entire journey was actually examining myself, And that's something that we actually have to do in this process of healing, is really examine yourself. During this time, it was a woe is me. It was, oh, I just got to get through it. I can't believe this happened to me. Not knowing that I had a victim mentality this whole time. That whole time I had a victim mentality and I didn't know. I was just resting in pain. I was just resting in hurt. But thank God for revelation. Thank God for healing. Thank God for deliverance. Thank God for fresh knowledge that we can take with us and live on a daily basis. And that's what happened to me. So between 15 to really 23, I was completely busy thought I was chasing after God, but I was neglecting myself. I was still hiding behind myself, behind closed doors, but out in the public, I was Joshua. But inside, when I got home, I had to deal with Joshua. You know, I don't know how many of y'all can attest to that, but I can tell you, it is so much easier to live a transparent lifestyle. So if you have things that you are holding in, if you have things that you are keeping from this world of knowing, I guarantee you, you're going to feel so much better about yourself and who you are as a human being if you just confess. If you just say, hey, you know what? I'm an imperfect human being. Hey, you know what? This way may look wrong to you, or that may, or this thought process, or this belief, but this is who I am. I think actually taking the time to acknowledge who you are and not trying to repress yourself will be a key thing in delivering yourself from depression, you know. So I'm going to fast forward just a little bit. That was just a little tiny bit of like the things that I had to deal with, and they carried on through my life, because I continued on that same path even while I've been married and all that. I continued on that path of still burying, actually looking at myself and still hiding behind closed doors. But what I had to actually do was life brought me to a place where I had to acknowledge it. And in that acknowledgement of all of my ways, I'm talking about my procrastination. I wasn't being truthful. I wasn't being reliable. I wasn't being trustworthy. You know, I was being a hoe. All these different things. I was just out here, right? And all of that was leading to a depressed state of being, because my true light, the nature that I saw really inside of me, could not shine because I had all this darkness by my side. I had all my darkness by my side as my sidekicks. It was kicking it on a daily basis, so the light in me couldn't really shine. But lo and behold, when you separate yourself from the things, the places, the people, and the things that keep your light from shining, that light is going to crack open as long as you keep your eyes focused on the Most High and being the best version of yourself. So I fast forward, I dealt with that. I'm going to come back to present day. Each time I talk to y'all, I'm going to kind of go off on a different path, you know, let you know what's going on. This water is beautiful too, by the way, right, y'all? It's wonderful. I've just been out here just relaxing. In overcoming depression, first thing you have to do is find something to love. You got to find something that you can love on and hang on to. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be a passion. It could be a thing. It could be loving on God. But first and foremost, you have to find something that's bigger than yourself that you can love on. A pet, a cat, a dog, a hamster, whatever, a gerbil, a lizard, whatever you like. Find something that you can love on. And then once you found something that you can love on, really pour the time into that thing. Pour your make it your baby, right? But it has to be something that you love. It can't be something that you're just doing. You actually have to have a passion about it. So if you don't know what you're passionate about, I guarantee, I encourage you to take the time to actually explore what you're passionate about. First, by writing down a list of your likes and dislikes. And then start to think about things that flow in that path of the things that you like, and things that flow in that path of the things that you dislike. Avoid the things you dislike. Gravitate towards the things that you like, all right? But that's that part, and looking for the light that's inside of you. It's like a tiny speck. I was talking to my twin sister about this the other day. This tiny speck of light that's out there. Life might be very dim. It may be glim. It may be sad. You may feel like you have no hope. You may be depressed, but there is light. You were brought here for a reason. You were brought here for a purpose, and you were brought here so that your light can shine bright to this kingdom of God and bring light into every being that you come across. We got lost in the midst of that because of the way this world works and how they don't put God first. It's self first. But I'm here to tell y'all today that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Don't forget that. Don't forget that you are a spiritual being having a human experience. Therefore, your spirit should lead your flesh, not your flesh leading your spirit. So, I digress. As you look for this light, really pour into what causes that light to open up from this tiny little shell to big, and then bigger and bigger, where you can see fully through it. But just remember that it's one step at a time, and it's not going to happen overnight. All right? So look for that light. And then once you found that love of that light, that thing that you can love, pour your effort into it. Get lost in it. If it brings out the best version of you, get lost in it. right? And then also when you start feeling these feelings coming up, let's say, because many times we're triggered throughout this journey with dealing with depression. You're triggered throughout the journey. It could be many different things. It could be something that reminds you of a past relationship, a family pattern, an experience that you had out in the workplace. It could be many different things that can trigger you and can send you into this place where you're stuck. So what I want you to do when you feel these moments where you're stuck because something has triggered you, I want you to speak to the God inside of you. I want you to say, I am more than a conqueror. I am enough. I am made in the likeness and image of God. My life might be perfect, but my heart is perfect. I might not be perfect, but I am pure. And speak life over yourself, right? And then get up and get moving. Don't sit down. When you're dealing with this depression shit, you cannot sit down. You literally got to get up and get moving. But in the midst of that, you got to keep God at the forefront. You got to stay in the constant place of meditation and constant place of being present. So you can understand when the triggers are coming, what triggers you, so that the next time that trigger comes, you're not triggered by it because you peeped it and you know how to speak against it. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. You can speak blessings or curses over everything around you, including yourself. And the first person that you should be speaking blessings over is yourself. You got that? It's you. Because if you ain't full, can't nobody around you be full. You got to pour in your cup and let that baby overflow so you can give to the people that you really want to give to and love on the people that you really want to love on. You feel me? We have to prepare ourselves to be a vessel, to be a blessing to everyone that comes into our life. And part of that is getting the stuff out the way. Recognizing that what happened to you didn't happen to you. It happened for you. It happened in your past and it came to teach you a lesson. Now what God wants you to do, put on your big boy pants and your big girl pants. Put them on and keep your eyes forward because you got blessings that's all that way. But you ain't gonna never see them if you keep going back that way. You feel me? You can't look back. And if there's something in your life that needs to be restored, restore it. Ask God for wisdom. Ask God for guidance. Ask God for understanding so that you can restore it to a place of new, not the old place, but a place of newness. Everything in your life must be new. So when you're dealing with this depression, you got to understand that. Because if you get stuck in that past thought pattern, you're never going to be able to build and restore your life and build it to a new place. So recognize that. And when you, like I said, speak against it. Speak against it and take action against it. Getting through depression is not easy. All right? It is not easy. But what it is worth it. Because there's moments, especially if you're alone, you're going to have moments where you're tried within this depressive state, where you feel like you're breaking down. But you got to remember who you are and who you came through. This world will tear you down, but you cannot let it tear you down. You have to use it as fuel to build you up and build up the God that's on the inside of you that was with you from the time you came out of your mother's womb. You were blessed. We are designed to be happy, productive, fruitful, not sad, depressed, and uncreative. So I guarantee you, if you take the time to start acknowledging yourself, start acknowledging your triggers, start acknowledging the times where you really want to react to something in a negative way because of a hurt or a victim mentality, and speak against it. I am not a victim, I am the victor. I'm more than a conqueror. I can do all things through Christ. I can do all things through Him who strengthens me. You are a victor, not a victim. I want you guys to really get that down. You are a victor, not a victim. I wish you nothing but peace, blessings, and love. So we're going to just wrap this up. Quick cap. But before we do that, I need you to pause what you're doing. Look right below. Please subscribe, like it, share it if you love it. Bless somebody else, because I'm doing this just to be a blessing to God's people. And the more people that hear this message, the more people can understand that there's healing that's possible. But you got to clear your way out. All right? So remember, find something that you love. Find that light, that little light. Even if it's dim, find that light and pour into that light. And pour into it with all focus and watch it expand. And when the negative thoughts come, remember, speak life over yourself. All right? Don't try to occupy yourself with things that are going to take you off, like doing drugs or video games or having sex. None of that. No, no, no. Feel it to heal it. You literally got to feel it to heal it. So feel that pain and grow through it. And speak life over yourself. And every day, this is an uphill battle every single day. It's not going to get better overnight. You literally got to practice this every single day. And I promise you, it'll get better if you practice it every single day, whenever these moments come. Oh, my beautiful sheep, my beautiful people who are struggling with depression, I speak against it. I speak life and healing over you. Oh, I speak restoration of your mind, heart, body, and spirit today. You will walk in the fullness of love. You will walk in the fullness of light, and nothing can stop you. For you are blessed and called and highly favored. You are it. You are the bee's knees. Ashe, ashe, and so it is. We give you the praise in advance to the Most High for your healing, and we celebrate it. So I hope this message was a blessing to you all today. This is J Tiggs Inspires. Hey, like, subscribe, share, and be blessed. Love y'all.